So my main interest is the nursery. The nursery is in order to grow native trees for native wildlife. Because we have come into this neighbourhood and we build our houses and we clear the land, we're taking away the natural food sources of most of the wildlife, particularly cassowaries. And if you say cassowaries, it really covers all wildlife, because if you get it right for the cassowary, then you get it right for the wildlife. Everybody does it for the love of it. Nobody gets paid. The nursery functions because people care. So we're seeing a juvenile, and this is one of the offspring that's now been sent away because the parent birds are mating again, and so they send off the young ones. They'll get about 2 or 3 times the size. This one you can see is just beginning to get its colour. And look at the huge legs and the big feet. You can imagine if that was going to attack you, and how quietly they walk. You don't get much better than that. What are you eating there? Our community has named about 13 cassowaries. So we've got socks, bodie, kadagi ma, kadagi girl and kadagi boy. There's Di, and there's Dad. Dad used to be called Bruce, but now he's called Dad, and he's about 45 and shouldn't be doing what he's doing these days. And then there's Gertie with her long, skinny legs and her mini skirt that she insists on wearing. And so they're mating at the moment. They mate over a period of about 5 weeks. Within the year, that's the only time they mate and the only time they come together. Then she starts to lay eggs and he sits on them. Then she will go off and they will have no more interaction. So it appears they've just finished mating. So they're having their cigarette after that. I mean, you can give them a number if you like, but a name that somebody relates to is a far better way to show that it's got a character and somebody loves it. Lots of people love them, of course. One of the cassowaries' favourite food is the blue quandong fruit. It grows from this seed, which is a very brain-like looking seed. It's interesting in that regard. It's very tough. Inside there are 2 seeds, like apple seeds. From seed, we'll get a plant like this, and this one's about a year old. From here, then it can go out into the gardens or out into the forest and be planted. Then this tree that's reaching up to the sky here is what comes from it. Then it gets the fruit fall down, and the cassowaries have a feast. So I'll just go down and get some more pots for you.
Okay, thanks, Jax.
Kuranda Conservation has about 10 core people who come every Saturday morning. We meet at 9, we break at 11. Our morning teas are as important as the rest of it, so it's as much social as it is working in the nursery, maintaining the plants, potting up the smaller ones into larger pots, planting seeds, and then when they come up, they have to be then planted on. So it's a constant thing. It's always revolving and evolving. There's really quite a cassowary cult now in Kuranda.
I got involved in this nursery because when I came to Kuranda, I noticed that, you know, there were a lot of things that need to be done, especially with the cassowaries, and I met Jax. She inspired me to come and work here, and it's actually quite a nice stress reliever after a week of work, too.
When I first came here, this place was a cattle farm, and it was just grass. So there was a matter of clearing the house pad and mowing the grass and getting it to what it is. This has taken 30 years to get to where it is now. One of my favourite trees in my backyard is this tree behind me. It's the kadagi, It originates in Kuranda, and I love it for its magnificent spread of green branches. And I love the way the branches come out from the trunk and the skin of the bark wrinkles. Part of the love affair with this tree, this was one of the first trees that I planted 25 years ago, and to see it grow is magnificent. I just love it. When somebody tells me that they've seen a cassowary poo on the side of the road and where it is, then I'll go and get it, because we know that if we get a cassowary poo, we've got the right seeds. There are the seeds. All the flesh has been taken off, and there are all these Kuranda quandong seeds in it. So that's basically what they're eating at the moment. But that's the seed. Imagine that coming out of you. You'd be thinking twice, wouldn't you, about that coming out? Nice and fruity smell. We would find this every second day, I suppose. I mean, what goes in must come out. So they're going to be doing this regularly, as we do. Wow, look at all those seeds. We rinse it out in a sieve.
It doesn't look like a very balanced diet. They all look the same to me.
And it can be very slim pickings for a cassowary that needs to eat kilograms worth of food every day. So if this is the only food there is, this is the only food there is. Let's go sow them. Our worm farm uses the poo that we get from the Kuranda koala gardens. We feed that poo into the worm farm, so it's native animals doing native poo that we grow our native trees in to feed our native animals. So I'm suggesting that we lay them on the side and we put them just all around like that, just about a seed separation from each one. And these seeds will take about a year. Now I think some soil over the top of that and fill the soil up to the top. There we go. So this is how the seeds will come up in about 12 months and grow to about this size. Then we'll take them out of here and we'll pot them into a pot like this so that they can grow on. When I built the house, and I was so in love with where I was living, my son made the comment, he said, "Oh, you've built your coffin, haven't you, Mum?" And I said, "Yes, this is where I'll die." I still feel like that, 20, 30 years later. So yes, it is my coffin. Great coffin to have.